Morning at the Groundhog Creek shelter. I was the only one in the shelter last night. That would not have happened in North Carolina or Georgia, I think. So the trail is definitely emptying out. I mean, it's true that a lot of people bailed because of the rain, but yeah, I think a lot of people have gotten off the trail completely now. Well, this is something different. I would fly my drone, but it's like the windiest it's ever been on this trail. North Carolina. Over there, that's Tennessee. That's where I'm headed in front of me. These winds would instantly sweep my drone into the Atlantic. So my next town, Hot Springs, is in the valley over there, and I should get there in around morning tomorrow. But I think it really shows how remote this place is that I haven't actually walked through a town in like a month or so. I've gotten rides into 2 towns, and I got a ride from my uncle into another one. But I haven't actually walked through any towns whatsoever for about almost 4 weeks or so. It's been a while. So it's gonna be good to walk into a town without having to hitch in. Pretty nice treat. Also shows how the mountains are getting slightly more gentrified now. Slightly more populated. Hey bro. I see you've been inspired by the mice. Just don't take my food and we're even, alright? Funny guy. I've been noticing more creeks and contouring since leaving the Smokies. Ever since Springer, pretty much, the trail has been completely addicted to ridge lines, and that included the Smokies as well. But since leaving them and following the North Carolina-Tennessee border, the trail has been going up and down a lot more creeks, which has been pretty interesting. It's 2 p.m, there's heaps of daylight left, but that storm just looks so bleak that I might actually just have to hunker down in that shelter for my own safety. It's not nearly as warm as it was this morning or yesterday, and the wind is blowing pretty hard, so I would probably have a miserable time going over the rest of the mountains to Hot Springs today, so that might be my place right there. I regret to say it. And just as I get to this very small shelter, the strap on my sandal finally breaks. Gee, if only I had another sandal to fix it up with. Oh wait, the strap on that one's broken too, the same one. Oh well. So I know what strap I should tell Tiva to reinforce. Well, that's kind of crap. I can probably walk a fair distance on that one, so I might actually test this because really this is the only strap that I really need to keep my foot inside the shoe, but yeah, we'll see. I really want to have decisive action over whether I move from the shelter or not, so I think I'm gonna move on. There's this one mountain in about 4 kilometers, which is about 1,400 meters, that would absolutely suck to walk through in a rainstorm. But that being said, it only goes downhill from there. And downhill means it gets warmer. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be more breaks in the rain after the storm hits. So it might suck, I might regret it, but I think I'll push on. Well, the storm sounds and looks absolutely terrifying. But instead of getting back to the shelter, I just decided to double down. I completely removed everything I was wearing that was made of cotton. I'm not wearing a shirt, I'm just wearing this rain jacket. I was terrified of the rain, but not a single drop of rain has hit me yet. It's all been this weird snow, hail stuff. Well, if that's all the bad weather I'm gonna get, I'm really happy I left that shelter. So, different clubs maintain different sections of the Appalachian Trail, and I think I can kind of pick out the differences between the different clubs, like the signage and the route selection and the route maintenance, how it differs between them. And the Carolina Mountain Club, the one I'm hiking the trail of, is my favorite so far. They are pretty inconsistent with their shelter building. That being said, the route selection and the trail are really, really nice. Really reminds me a lot of the Benhodi, actually. Backtracking now because there was a bag of rubbish that was left in the forest. There's a gap which is like 100 meters back, which I'm going back to. Going out to hang my food bag out here at the shelter. Nice shelter, nice big fat day. And for once this will actually be the end of the day. See you tomorrow for real. Just gonna get this clipped up. So, you have the food, you hoist it into the air. Everyone sees my hat and hears my accent and thinks I'm German. In case you're a new viewer, I might as well tell you the full story I've told others on this trail. I am half Dutch, half American. I've lived in both those places for the first 10 years of my life, and then I lived in Australia for, until now, next 12 years of my life. So I'm kind of from all those places. I usually say I'm from Australia. I think these are the first low altitude pine forests I've come across since Florida. See, people talk about the Appalachian Trail being monotonous and being the same trees all the time, and that's really not true. It really does change. I think I see new, different types of small little plants every day. So, yeah, it's really not that boring. That's Hot Springs right there. Apparently the very first town that the Appalachian Trail passes straight through. Here at the library, charging my staff for researching flights. One of the ladies who spent last night in the shelter with me just gave me pizza. It was amazing. Made it from Springer Mountain to here right now. Not too far to go, right? Destroyed shoes, I give you a sad goodbye. Wish I could give you a better burial, but this one's kind of fitting, let's be honest. Trial magic at the Laughing Heart Hostel. Oh yeah, live music. Just had an amazing chocolate dessert here in the cafe. Now I'm going on to the trail, just outside of town and camping. Leaving Hot Springs, this is just a creek And it's the size of the Murray River, because of course it is. We don't have any big rivers in Australia. So I got sucked into the hot springs vortex. Vortex is what you call it, or what hikers call it, when you want to stay in a town for days and days and days and never want to leave and just keep on spending more and more money. So that's what I've been doing all of this morning and afternoon. I was going to leave town at 2, now it's 8 o'clock and I've only just left town. Look at that beautiful camp next to that beautiful river. Man, this sucks. I wish I was back home doing my taxes. It's also costing me like, what, $10 a day. Pretty steep climb this morning, but lots of switchbacks. If anyone tells you there aren't any switchbacks in the Southern Appalachians, they are lying to you. Ten miles done, time for lunch.
Get on your acting.
This is Mickey and Minnie. Thank you so much for the trail magic.
Anytime. Happy trails.
Thank you. Between the trail angels and the cookie lady who was just down the road, I felt trapped there. I couldn't leave for like 2 hours, but it was all worth it. After 3.5 months of hiking, this is the first day I would probably call a hot day. It's pretty serious. Like every bit of wind I have feels like, you could say, a breath of fresh air, because it's a bit too warm for my liking. This is why you always hike in the golden hour. That's so cool. Look at that. I may never have seen that. Here's reason number 2. Woo! Probably the best view yet so far. That's awesome. Oh yeah! What a view! How much more awesome can this trail get? Just look at that. Look at that. The trail is about as rocky now as the rockiest parts of Alabama. And right here it looks like I actually have to do almost a bit of scrambling, almost. Seems like I can sort of just avoid it by stepping down. But yeah, I'm really loving this, actually. First real rocks of the Appalachian Trail. 300 miles. Let's get to camp. Good morning from the tent. I was given this, among many other things, by someone who was heading into town. As trail magic. And this stuff has easily been the best trail breakfast I have ever had. I haven't felt so inspired to boulder something on the trail before. How about that for a killer fish jam problem? What a place. I hiked Big Butt and I cannot lie. Some paths are just not used very much. For instance, the Green Ridge Trail. It's a pretty green trail, I can grant you that. It doesn't exist anymore. Trail magic. Oatmeal cookies. I haven't done this much creek following on the Appalachian Trail so far. It's been nice. Look at that really prominent bald over there. I think money's on the fact that I'm going to climb all the way up to the top of that thing. There's a kind of a strange village on top of that mountain as well. There's the big bald again. Let's try and conquer it by sunset. Wow, just wow. I hope I gave myself some time to get some good drone footage of this, because this is something else. Probably the best sunset hands down. Maybe the best summit. I mean, holy crap.
I don't know where the mom was at though. You saw her? Okay. I just didn't want you getting in between.
Just grabbed some water from the spring this morning. So they have these bear boxes, which you use to store your food at these huts. And when I got my food last night, I noticed all these eyes in the dark looking back at me. They were all deer, just tons and tons of deer surrounding the campsite. And this morning, a whole bunch of people, like everyone except for me at the shelter, saw a bear, which I was too late to get out of bed and see, unfortunately. But there's wildlife around here. You may not see me talk about hills too much, but honestly, they've completely faded into the background at this point. It's like you reaching up, you climb like between 50 and 700 meters vertically out of some valley, and then you reach a summit, and then you go back down, then you repeat. It's just kind of been like that for a while. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the resupply, but I sort of feel like this trail is only entering town because it needs to cross that river. Just resupplying in the small town of Erwin. That's an incredibly American view, isn't it? Right there. I usually love buying stuff from these aisles of the supermarket. Unfortunately, all of this stuff is twice the price it is in Australia, and that's not an exaggeration. But I make do.